Greetings and welcome back to the Casual Wargamer. Today we're talking about the Tyranid previews that we've had from Games Workshop over the last few weeks. Tyranids. They are one of the couple of armies that I generally don't enjoy facing on the tabletop. The others for reference are Knights in both their variations and Chaos Demons. But Tyranids I've always found to be exceedingly strong. And in all my years of playing 40k, I can tell you right now that I have beaten them twice. And that's it. They generally run roughshod over my poor Marines. And this ranges from very experienced sort of like tournament level players down to your average, bring and play opponent. They're an odd army because originally they had no real shooting potential whatsoever. Instead, they wanted to get up the table and they wanted to smack you in assault. They were kind of like the reverse of Tau, who want to shoot you, but they don't want to be in the combat. Tyranids generally swarmed their way up the table. You couldn't kill enough of them before they hit your lines and basically tore you to shreds. Over time, especially I think over 8th and 9th edition, that line has kind of blurred. Tyranids now are not so bad at shooting. They have some very strong shooting attacks, depending on what you're coming from, mainly the big monstrous creatures. Plus the, I think it's called the Gut Ripper Relic, which basically, since that came out, every Tyranid opponent I faced has taken that relic. Tyranids now can quite easily blast you off the table and then basically mop up the rest with teeth and claws. I'm not a fan of them getting so good at shooting. I know it's not amazing. They're not up to Eldar or Tau or Marine level shooting. But it kind of feels that the weakness the army had has been taken away. And now they're more than what they were. People call some of the changes that Games Workshop put out over the last year as nerfs, or they need a boost or whatever. Personally, I think Tyranids needed a balance, especially after their 9th edition codex. But these previews that we've had, I think, have actually shown us quite a nice, strong, but again, bear in mind we haven't seen everything, reasonably balanced army. It looks like they do still retain some of that shooting from what we've seen, just a little bit. The big Gribblies definitely so. The Tyranid preview gave us, for example, the Rupture Cannon is a ballistic skill 3+, -4, high damage, 2d6 damage. They're still going to have that shooting ability, but with the drop in AP in general across the edition, the assault side of it doesn't seem quite so bad. What I'm seeing is a nice, so far, balanced sort of approach. One area where I think Tyranids are going to do very, very well, and I think this is a change to 10th that we're all going to have to get used to. I don't think the game is going to be about grabbing an objective and camping on it and basically knocking somebody off it. Now it's going to be about getting there, outnumbering people with the objective control, and if you can't outnumber it with objective control, you battle shock them so that they cannot hold it. And I think Tyranids can be very good at that last bit. They can be very good at basically running up there and basically going battle shock, or let me just scroll up to it. For the Shadow in the Warp special rule, if your army faction is Tyranids, once per battle, in either player's command phase, if one or more units of your army with this ability are on the battlefield, you can unleash the Shadow of the Warp. And when you do, each enemy unit on the battlefield must make a battle shock test. You can get to that point and basically go bang, and the opponent could suddenly lose control over the battlefield just for a turn. But that could be massive. And if you need that right at the end of the game, that could be something that seals victory. 10th really does seem to be about either forcing battle shock tests or forcing them with a penalty. And I think in that regard, Tyranids are going to do very, very well. It certainly does look like that is going to be a strong point of how they play. So far, I have yet to see anything that I particularly dislike in these previews. As I say, I think what we're seeing seems to be much more balanced than they used to be. So really, I have no complaints. 10th might be, I say might be, the edition where I'm actually going to enjoy playing against Tyranids again. Fingers crossed. What are your thoughts on these previews? I'm not going into all the stats and stuff. As I said in the Space Marine one, other channels have done that before and better. But it'll be interesting to know what you think about the previews we've got. Do you think they're balancing out? Do you think this is a bit of a nerf, even though we haven't seen the full rules? And what do you think about Tyranids potentially being able to, temporarily at least, seize control of the battlefield through battle shock tests and outnumbering the opponent? Is this going to be a good mechanic for them? Is it going to make other armies suffer? Let me know. Until next time, take care, guys. Good gaming.